In a world filled with glowing cities and perfect smiles, everyone appears honest. But sometimes the mask is clearer than the truth. Look closely at the crowd. Faces blur, but the smiles remain. Because sometimes the mask speaks louder than the person. Above the city, the mirror reveals what people hide, smiles below, but emotions above, telling a different story. Walk through the hallway of reflections, and you may discover something unsettling. Every mirror shows a different version of you. Sometimes the loudest lies don't come from other people. They whisper quietly from our own reflection. Hands shake in friendship, but shadows tell another story. Because intentions rarely stay hidden forever. In a world full of masks, truth becomes something rare. A fragile light held by only a few. Truth and lies float through the air like smoke, twisting, changing shape, until no one remembers what was real. Walk long enough through the fog of illusion and faces appear, then disappear, leaving only questions behind. Sometimes the mask begins to crack, and behind it, the real face finally breathes. A smile in the office can mean many things: support, competition, or something hidden between the two. A friend says, "I'm happy for you," but mirrors never lie, and reflections reveal emotions words cannot hide. Two hands meet in agreement, yet beneath the surface, trust quietly sharpens its knives. You remove one mask only to discover another waiting beneath it, because identity can become a performance. In a room filled with masks, every face tells a different story, but none of them are completely real. A smile can silence suspicion, but shadows whisper the truth, and shadows are difficult to silence. Everything is fine, they say, yet the mirror quietly disagrees. Sometimes pain hides behind calm words. Two faces exist within every person, the one the world sees and the one only silence understands. In a crowded world, identities begin to glitch and distort, because pretending eventually breaks reality. A handshake begins with trust, but hidden intentions dissolve it like smoke. When the mask breaks, the truth does not scream. It simply waits to be seen. Look deep into the mirror. Sometimes the stranger staring back is the person we pretend not to be. A single face, yet countless emotions layered beneath it. Truth is rarely simple. Some masks protect us, but over time, they also imprison us. A smile may calm the storm outside, but inside the mind thunder still roars. The reflection smiles with confidence, while the real person carries quiet exhaustion. A crowd of glowing smiles, yet empty eyes reveal the silence behind them. A shattered reflection forms many emotions, because sometimes truth only appears when everything breaks. Behind every person, there is a collection of masks, waiting for the right moment to be worn. A cracked mirror does not lie, it simply reveals how many identities we carry. A broken vase on the floor, and suddenly the mind searches for escape. This is where the first lie begins. Even children hear the whisper of excuses, soft voices telling them truth might hurt. Hidden behind a small back, the broken pieces remain silent, but reflections remember everything. Life slowly presents two doors: truth or the easier path of lies. Between punishment and honesty, the young mind begins to calculate, and sometimes fear wins. A broken toy may seem small, but even tiny moments teach powerful lessons about truth. Inside every mind, light and darkness argue endlessly. The decision is always ours. Even in a classroom, masks can appear early, because pretending is quickly learned. The hand writes, "I didn't do it," but the mirror quietly writes something else. The mind becomes a machine of choices, balancing truth against consequence. Standing before the scale of truth and punishment, the heart hesitates, because honesty sometimes feels heavier. A tiny lie may look harmless today, but in the shadows, it quietly grows into something larger. Every life reaches a moment where two paths appear, one of light and one of easy darkness. Sometimes the broken object is not the problem, the guilt reflected in our eyes is what truly hurts. Lies stretch like shadows at sunset, growing longer. With every moment they remain hidden. At the party, laughter fills the room, yet reflections reveal the truth. Not everyone celebrating feels joy. Polite words float gently through conversations, but like smoke, they disappear before becoming real. Two friends embrace warmly, yet their shadows quietly drift apart. Words can sparkle beautifully, while thoughts remain hidden behind invisible walls. At the elegant dinner table, everyone wears a mask. Not all of them are visible. Sometimes what we say shines like gold, but what we think remains lost in darkness. A smiling crowd looks perfect from a distance until reflections reveal the cracks. A calm voice speaks politely, while inside the truth screams for attention. In a world of social media, smiles, authentic emotions become rare treasures. A crowded train carries hundreds of faces, yet every reflection tells a different story. Many people walk confidently through life, never realizing invisible strings guide their choices. Cities may stand tall and straight, but reflections remind us perfection is often an illusion. Even a group photo can lie, capturing smiles while hiding silent emotions. Some handshakes promise friendship while slowly becoming chains of expectation. Life sometimes feels like a theater, and many of us are actors in the play of honesty. Staring into the mirror long enough, and the reflection begins to fade, revealing uncertainty within. Words written today may change tomorrow, because the mind loves rewriting its own story. Shattered mirrors show many faces, each one telling a slightly different truth. Excuses are easy bricks to stack, until suddenly they become a wall around us. The reflection smiles confidently, while the real heart quietly breaks. Memories drift through the mind like photographs, distorted by time and softened by comfort. Even the mind itself can become fragile, reflecting ideas that were never truly real. Sometimes the hardest argument in life is the one we have with ourselves. A mirror may show a face, but it cannot always reveal the truth behind it. Inside a maze of reflections, the greatest challenge becomes finding yourself. Truth shines brightly, but many people cover their eyes, afraid of what they might see. Sometimes even our reflection walks away, tired of the story we keep repeating. Painting a smile is easy, living it honestly is much harder. Pages of a diary may look honest until the mind rearranges the truth. Look long enough at the mirror, and the stranger staring back might be your own illusion. Excuses begin as small floating thoughts, but soon they surround us completely. Cracks across a face reveal something powerful, imperfection, and hidden emotion. When the mask melts away, the truth underneath finally breathes. Comforting lies whisper softly, because they know truth speaks louder. And sometimes our own reflection decides to leave before we find the courage to change. Inside the bubble of illusion, everything feels calm until reality knocks on the glass. A golden cage can still be a prison, especially when it is built from lies. Walking through foggy beliefs, many people lose sight of what is real. Comfort can feel safe, but sometimes it quietly traps our potential. Covering the mirror hides the reflection, but never the truth itself. Dreamlike worlds can be beautiful, yet beauty alone does not make them real. A cracked mirror taped together still remembers every fracture. Many people choose sweet illusions instead of the bitter taste of truth. Even the most beautiful landscape can hide deep cracks beneath the surface. Walking through comforting lies feels peaceful until the walls begin closing in. Illusions swirl around the mind like smoke, blurring the path forward. A peaceful smile may float calmly, while darkness quietly waits below. A village of mirrors reflects endless images, but none of them show reality. Building life on fragile truths means the smallest pressure can shatter everything. Sometimes illusions cover the sky, hiding the light that was always there. But courage begins in a single moment, when someone decides to break the mask. Leaving the maze of reflections one step towards sunlight changes everything. Cracks in illusion walls are not weakness, they are the beginning of clarity. Removing a mask may feel terrifying until freedom replaces fear. Standing alone without illusions requires bravery most people never discover. And finally, the mirror shows the real face. Through darkness and doubt, truth shines like a distant guiding star. When the illusion falls to the ground, the mind finally breathes. For the first time, reflection and reality become the same. Holding truth is not easy, but it is the most powerful light we can carry. Among a crowd of masks, one honest face can change everything. Breaking chains of lies hurts at first, but freedom quickly follows. Honesty illuminates the face with a light no mask can imitate. Step out of the shadows, and illusion loses its power. When the mirror becomes clear, the journey toward authenticity begins. Between illusion and truth, every person must choose their world. A calm lake reflects the sky perfectly when the surface is honest and still. When the face and reflection unite, inner conflict finally fades. Let the mask drift away with the wind. It was never meant to stay forever. Walking toward authenticity may feel lonely, but it leads to real peace. When illusions collapse, reality rises stronger than ever. The path of authenticity glows quietly, waiting for those brave enough to walk it. Sometimes a mirror becomes more than reflection. It becomes a doorway to truth. Looking peacefully into your reflection means you finally stopped running. And when the sun rises through broken illusions, a new life of honesty begins.